John Kuhn, Associated Press. What really went into kind of deciding that this was the time for you to retire? Were there specific things that happened during the course of the season where it kind of told you that, hey, maybe this is time?
Well, I don't know if there's any one specific thing. I think that, Cheryl and I have talked about this day for a long time and wondering how it was going to work. We've stayed at BYU a few times when we had opportunities to leave. And it seemed like we always stayed because of relationships that we had with current players, relationships that I had with coaches, things that I felt like I needed to accomplish still. And as we looked at those 2 or 3 times when we could have left, it's the same feeling that we have right now. The reason to not do this is because of the relationships that I have with my coaches and the relationships that I have with my players. But it's going to end someday. And if that's the reason that is like on the very top, that's probably not the best reason to stay. My heart told me it was time to leave. And Cheryl was agreeable. And so that's why we're doing it now.
Jared Lloyd, Daily Herald. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate all you've done. And talk about the reaction of the players and coaches as you talked to them today and shared this as they're making their own decisions and considering their own future.
Well, I felt for them. I feel for the coaches. We had a discussion at the end of last week that this was a possibility. And, I just feel for them. I mean, they're happy for me. They're happy for my opportunity to move on and to challenge myself with something else. But they're obviously very concerned for themselves and what's going to happen to their families, and so are we. Cheryl and I spent hours, talking about how this will affect each one of the families and their kids and our kids and our grandkids and their spouses. I mean, there's a lot to this. But the players are the hardest. But I was proud of myself. I did really good with the players. Never cracked. Like I've cracked here. And all you guys are going to put is all the times I cracked. Just get a nice picture of me, all right, looking really happy, and put that out there. All right, next question. Hey, Pat.
Patrick Kinahan, formerly the Tribune. Now I do a little radio.
Yep.
I can remember talking to you way back when, where you were thinking, as a junior college coach, you were scarred. Would you ever be able to get that opportunity? And Steve leaves, and then you get that opportunity, and you do this marvelous job for all this time. Outside of maybe winning it all, during your time, which you thought you weren't at a point you weren't sure you were going to get it, and now that you got it and it's done, did you do what you wanted to do?
Well, that's why I feel, and I say this with a full heart of truth, and I feel like I'm the luckiest guy ever. I got a chance to coach at a unbelievable institution that has tremendous tradition, and then watch these guys just flourish. And I won't leave here with any regrets at all. As far as how hard we worked, how hard we tried, how we tried to do it the right way with the right people. But I will leave here wishing we had done a little bit more. And I played in the Final Four, and I wanted to come here and get our team to the Final Four, and we came close one year. But it didn't happen for us, and that'll be something that I maybe, hopefully, can see another guy come in here and get it done, because these kids work hard, and these fans cheer hard, and these boosters, they support hard, and hopefully someday we can find the group that can actually push through and actually get that done for us.
Congratulations, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Pat.
Aaron Fitzman with the Daily Universe. First, thank you, the media. We love you. This isn't a good day for us either. When you came in, what was the legacy you were hoping to leave, and what legacy do you feel like you are now leaving?
Well, legacy is hard for me. I think legacy is for other people to talk about, as far as what we've been able to do while we've been here. There's some things I'll be really, really proud of, that I am really proud of. One is the fact that our players came and they were student athletes, and 98% of them have graduated with a degree, in whatever degree they want, not a degree that the basketball program sent them through. That's something that I'm really proud of. I'm obviously really proud of the ability to have a successful team every year. It's hard here at BYU. There's just so much change. Your players are coming in and out, and you think of what we've been through with the mission change. The kids used to all come in for a year, and then they'd leave, and then come back for 3 years, and then they started to go on their missions, before they played, and then came back and played 4 years, and that was a really tough adjustment for us, for our staff. But through all that, we continue to have successful teams, and I think every year, I tell my players this every year, that it ends and we want more. We always want more. We wanted more when it ended in the locker room in Las Vegas this year. We wanted more when it ended in the locker room in Philadelphia, and when it ended in the locker room in Anaheim, and when it ended in the locker room in New Orleans. You always want more. And that's, I think, what continues to drive you. But the bottom line is, sometimes you look and you step back and you look and go, my goodness, that was pretty good. And hopefully that's what that I'll be able to do a little bit more of. Man, that was pretty good. I'm really proud of the fact we got the annex built, thanks to President Worthen and so many of you in here, your financial contributions. But not just your contributions, your support. The way you talked about our program around town, and got people interested in helping, and the remodel of this arena, which seems, why would you have any pride in that? Well, they put us on this side when I started, and then I coached on that side for a few years, and then we came back to this side, and we had half the building blue, and then we had the full building blue, and then we kind of reorganized the ticket structure, and all to do all those kind of things, you have to have good teams and the support of the people. And so I'll be proud of that. But as far as the legacy is concerned, I hope teams really, I hope people just really had fun watching our teams play.
Jay Drew, Salt Lake Tribune.
You're like me, man. You're on house money.
I did get a second chance.
Yeah, you got a second chance.
Dave, you're 23 wins away from the great Stan Watts. Did that play into any of your thinking as when you pondered whether you wanted to call it a career?
It didn't play into my thinking at all. It played into my family's thinking. They were all of a sudden, are you kidding me? You're gonna quit now? I mean, but to me, I told you, there are numbers on a page, and I'm not a big reader, so maybe that's why they don't matter that much. But I think that again, like I just said, that what I really hope is that people had fun, bringing their families, coming to Marriott Center, watching our guys play, leaving with a big win. I mean, 227, my goodness, we had a lot of wins. We had a lot of wins. I hope everybody had fun.
Jeff Call, Deseret News. Coach, you mentioned you talked to a lot of people today that influenced your career, you've worked with. What are those conversations like, and what did it mean to you to hear from those people? What do you take for that?
Well, you know, it was really kind of fun. It's a fun day. A couple of the guys, I felt bad because they played last night and just got beat. And I don't call people after they just got beat because I don't want people calling me after I just got beat. And but today I thought that I just wanted to have a conversation and thank each one of those guys who put their heart and soul into my career. And every conversation was tremendous. And, you know, it brings back so many great memories because I got a piece of all their personalities in today. And all their personalities were in the room with us for all those wins, the times they were here. And that was really refreshing and quite enjoyable.
Dave, thanks for the last 22 years, man.
Thank you.
I know Jake, my brother-in-law, is very appreciative. He sends his love.
Thank you.
You know, you talk about how this is more than just wins and losses, more than a resume. It's about the players. It's about the families that are involved in it. Can you speak to specific moments, euphoric moments in your career here at BYU that you had times to spend with specific players or teams that you'll think upon fondly?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've told this story a few times, but mostly kind of reserved just for smaller groups. But, you know, back in 2011, I think, was the year, and we were ranked, we just beat San Diego State, at San Diego State on national TV, and I think we came home and we were ranked 3, and it was the 1st of March or something like that. And you know, we have an issue with one of our players, and I call the captains into my office. And I have Logan Magnuson and Jackson Emery and Jimmer in my office. And told them the situation, told them the things that were probably going to happen, and that, you know, this player wasn't going to be able to play with us for the rest of the year. And they all kind of gave their reaction of how they thought the team would react. But all positive, because these guys were just, it was a group of guys who believed like no other team. And they got up and said, okay, well, I'll meet you down in the locker room, and I'll give you guys a chance to talk for a minute, and then I'll talk. And get these guys fired up and get ready for practice. And so Logan walks out, and Jackson walks out, and Jimmer is the last one to walk out, and then Jimmer pokes his head back in, and he says, hey, Coach, now we're going to be missing 12 points and 8 rebounds with this player not being able to play. You figure out how to get the 8 rebounds, I'll get the 12 points. Yeah, and he did. I think he had 52 against New Mexico in the tournament. But there are so many stories of what, you know, I've been asked a couple times to write a book, and never felt like I wanted to write a book because I felt like the best chapter of that book hadn't happened yet. And so now we get to this point, and there would be a lot of really good chapters, and especially stories of players and dealing with their individual challenges, and then how they made it, how they overcame really hard things and became stars and have gone on to be unbelievable husbands and fathers and leaders in the community.
Thanks for putting up with the media, Dave. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's a necessary evil.
Take that as a compliment, Coach. Jeremiah Jensen, KSL. Coach, you alluded earlier to the fact that you hope the next coach can come in here and have even more success than you. We know BYU is a unique place. This is a unique job. What advice would you have for the next head coach? What would you tell them, or what advice would you give them to help them be successful here?
That's a really good question. And, you know, I thought about, who is the next guy? And I do know this, that a lot of people say, oh, the pool's really small. The pool's really big when you consider, and I haven't really documented this, but I kind of think that 4 out of the last 5 coaches here at BYU were hired without any Division I coaching experience. When you look at me and Cleve and Raj, Liddell had coached at Utah State and in the pros. I don't know about Frank, but there's a large net that's got to be thrown out here to find the right guy. And my advice to him, it's really easy to say now, but my advice to him is to just try and get outside of yourself and accept the people who want to help you and the people who are here that have no agenda except they love BYU and they want to help these athletes and help these teams to be successful. And this is a hard thing because it seems like you kind of lock yourself in your own little room and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And then before you know it, you need more help. And so that would be my advice. And then the other thing is, and I'd give anybody this advice in any position that they're in, especially position of leadership, is that you find ways to enjoy your day every day. I had a ritual every day that was the funnest part of my day, and that's when I got to meet with my coaches. We'd have a staff meeting, and about the first 20 minutes of every staff meeting, we would make fun of everything that happened the night before and laugh and enjoy the moment. Knowing that we're all in a grind, knowing that we've all got a truck facing us, coming right at us, and we got to figure out how to get out of the way or derail it. But I think trying to find joy in your day in this challenge can really help you get through it. Oh, boy.
Hi, Coach.
This is my daughter, Taylor.
My name's Taylor. My media is Taylor Ann Rose on Instagram. Just kidding. Please don't. This is not my turn to speak, but I'm taking it because I'm 22. I'm 24. So of the 22 years of my life, I've been Coach Rose's daughter, which is one of the greatest privileges. And I'm so proud of you. And I just wanted everyone to know that. So you have done amazing things, but you will only do more amazing things next. So I guess I have to ask a question. What was your favorite game? I don't know. Answer your question. I love you, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, what I'm really, really happy for is that Taylor is in her second semester of law school, okay? Because there was times during the first semester that we wondered if we'd get to the second semester. But she did great, and we're so proud of her. And looking forward to her legally representing me for free for a long time. My favorite game, I've been asked that a lot over the years, and really can't ever say, how can you pick one game and have it be your favorite game? But I don't know if I'll ever be able to feel like I felt after we beat Gonzaga to go to the Sweet 16. And we come home we fly into Provo Airport here, and there's 400 or 500 Cougar fans at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It's raining, it's freezing cold. That's when I knew I was at someplace special, really, really special. And people really, really cared. And that's when I, just within the next 72 hours or so, I had a couple offers to leave here and go coach somewhere else. And So it's kind of funny that you think, well, maybe that was your favorite game that you played in, but then it caused the most stress that I've ever had in my entire life, trying to figure out who to say yes to and who to say no to. And so there you go. But the game in here against San Diego State, when everybody rushed the court and I got pinned up against the wall right over there, that was pretty good too.
Coach Dave McCann from KSL and BYU TV, congratulations.
Thank you.
You survived 141 pregame interviews with Blaine and myself. We tried to come up with different questions, but we appreciated that time with you. It's an emotional day for a lot of us that have been working together for a long time. When they hired Steve Cleveland, I remember we all thought, well, who's this guy? And then he announced his staff, and we all thought, who are those guys? And then here we are today, all these years later. Explain what it feels like to bring a program out onto this floor where it is so loud that your players can't hear you as you're talking to them face to face, and knowing that you helped create that.
You know, that's probably one of the most special things in our recruiting is this building, the Marriott Center. And if we can get a player in the building, you know, before he's committed and he has a real interest, there's a really good chance we're going to get him and he's going to want to come, because this is a really special place. And I've traveled the world, and it's amazing where I find people that come up to me and say, my goodness, I saw a game in the Marriott Center in 1975 or whenever. And it's you know, that's the loudest I've ever heard an arena, or the best place I've ever watched the game. And we traveled to Australia one summer with a summer team. We've been to Brazil recruiting, and it's amazing how many people in the basketball world actually have a feel for how special this place is. And you know, for me, some of those nights, you know, you go home and you know, you're kind of decompress and you're sitting in a chair, and you know, Cheryl thinks I was just ignoring her, but she says something to me and I can't hear her. You know, the ears are just ringing. And most of the time we won, so I had a smile on my face sitting there. But I think that one of the things that I'll always really be grateful for is, it was weird because I sat in my office a lot of summers with jackhammers just, you know, shaking the building. But for them to update this building and facility and make it real for a long time in the future, I think is great foresight from the university planners, but a great advantage for us and our athletic program. My grandkids are getting restless here. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And if I forgot anybody here, I mean, my goodness, it's a great group. Maybe we should go to Sundance and have a party. I threw a party for my wife's 50th birthday at Sundance. It was one of the best parties we've ever had. And you know what, media guys, I'd actually invite you guys if I did that. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Go Cougs.